Let's make putting on ring slings easy. First, you have to thread the ring sling, right? I like to do this on our body. I bring the rings over my shoulder. Baby is going to be either right in front here or a little bit off to my left side. Find this fabric here, the top edge, and just pull it and feel to make sure that nothing got twisted in the back. You're going to walk your hands through the fabric, just collecting it up into your hand. You can bring it in front and walk through here as well. Just collecting it and organizing it. Doesn't need to be perfect. These rings together, bring your hand through the rings, reach for the fabric, pull the fabric through both rings and set it over top. We're going to open up those rings and that tail of fabric, pull it through. At this point, we need to organize things. Find this top edge and find this inner edge here that communicate as it follows through that ring. Flatten it out, and then I'm going to start pulling the fabric out just a little bit. Walk my fingers all the way through this fabric here until I get to that outer edge. Lots of fabric tucked and twisted, and then I made it to the outer edge. So make sure that this outer edge communicates with this bottom edge, and it communicates with this outer edge here. Now I have this big old ball of fabric. Pull the fabric through. I have it collected through my rings. Pull the fabric from the back to the front. Now is learn how to adjust the fabric before baby gets in here, because you're going to use the same technique to adjust it right now as you will when baby is in the carrier. You have areas of huge pockets. Bring that slack forward all the way up to the rings. Gather that same amount of fabric here on this side, and then just pull the fabric in the same direction that it's coming from. Same thing with the middle section. Hang that slack around, move that slack all the way up to the rings. Gather that same little bit in my hand and pull it in the same direction that it's coming from. You can do the same thing from the bottom edge. Now we're ready to bring baby to our body and into the carrier. When you are bringing baby to your body, you're going to bring them to the shoulder without the rings. Then you reach underneath this pocket of fabric, guide baby's legs in through the fabric and all the way down. At this point, all we're worried about really is getting baby on our body in a comfortable position, getting baby where we want them to be on our body. Do we want them in front? Do we want them to the side? You notice that your rings have fallen too low. You're going to lift up on baby, grab your rings, and move it up on your body. Now we are ready to start bringing the carrier around baby. Top edge of fabric and start to slowly walk it up and over baby. We're bringing up enough fabric that we could cover baby's head if we wanted to. We're not going to do that. And on the ring side, I'm going to go underneath between baby and me to the opposite knee. And I'm going to make sure that that fabric goes from knee crease to knee crease and underneath of baby's bottom, creating that nice seat. In the process of tucking this fabric, I'm creating a nice little posterior pelvic tilt. Whoop. Then as we're bringing that fabric here, we can bring it even across so that there is any slack at this point on our bottom edge. We have a handhold here. We bring it up to the rings, grab a handhold here on the bottom edge, and then we pull in the same direction that's coming from to take up that slack. And we use that same adjustment method with the rest of the fabric. Bring all of this excess from this top third of fabric around, way over to where my rings are at. That top third of fabric here, and I pull that slack up in the same direction that fabric is coming from. And then the same thing with this middle section. The slack I have here, bringing across, finding that handhold of fabric here, and pulling that slack through my rings. Feel like you're done. Check to make sure that you really have a good fit. Kind of just moving and making sure that when you move around, that you and baby are moving as one unit. Now I have baby close enough to where I can easily monitor them, make sure that their airway is clear, head is turned one way or the other, close enough to kiss. Have a nice deep seat. Their legs and hips are supported. That fabric going from knee crease to knee crease. To get out of the ring sling is just going to come to this rings, lift up, move that fabric through an inch or two. Bring the seat out from underneath of baby, keeping a hand on baby, up and over top, and voila, baby's free, and take it off if you need to. Happy ring slinging!